Hello my beautiful spooky pickles. I will have just uploaded a video about the lovely charming Rumpelstiltskin, and I want to quickly go over my thoughts and opinions. And also I'm going to start a series on, it's mostly going to be based on fairies, but also the importance of names. And there's power in names and what you present yourself as and what name you choose to give. Like, I can go by Miss, my last name, or I can go by my first name, or I can go by the spooky storyteller. Now, each name I give will give you a different impression of me and a different level of who I am, and has a different meaning and power or energy to it. So names are very important, and I'm going to do a whole thing about that one day. Also, I want to touch on my thoughts and opinions of Rumpelstiltskin. So, he's trickster. Some people say he's a fairy, some people say he's a gnome, he's a leprechaun, but he basically he takes advantage of people at the weakest moment. That's when he strikes. When someone is at the most desperate, last minute hope. They've nothing left. They're absolutely desperate. That's where he lives. And that's where he strikes. Because he knows, what other choice do you have? What other options do you have? Now, you may well have other options that aren't as appealing, or a bit more, you may be taking your fate in your own hands, and that's how he knows he can get you, and he can ask for nearly anything, but he doesn't straight away. He lures you in, like in the story he asked for a necklace and then a ring. That's when he asked the last time, when she was really desperate, and she was so close to being free and actually getting, pretty much a dream she could have been queen, and she did end up being queen. But that's when he asked for the big thing, which was a baby. It's always be cautious of any deals you make. I'm not saying most people ask for your firstborn child, obviously, but always question people's intentions. Because some people are just genuinely kind and want to help you, and other people have darker intentions. So it's a warning. It's a warning to use your discernment and always really be wary of what you're signing. Also, like I did mention at the end of the video, but I did want to get into a bit more, being truthful and honest is so important. She got in that situation because her father lied instead of being honest. He was boastful, and when he found out the king heard, instead of just probably taking a whipping or getting locked up for a while, which still is not nice, instead of being honest to the king and saying, I was just being boastful, I didn't really mean that, although I just meant she was very, very talented and I was boasting, I'm so sorry. Instead of doing that, he let his daughter end up in that predicament, and instead of, just basically begging the king to listen to her and explaining, my dad was boasting, I cannot do this, she allowed him to believe the lie because she made a deal with Rumpelstiltskin and got in the situation she ended up in. So it's always important to be truthful, because what if there isn't a way out? And then it just turned out to be very, very lucky that this servant happened upon Rumpelstiltskin singing his rhyme. And also, I believe the reason Rumpelstiltskin wanted a child, because he says human life is more important to me than jewels and gold, when she's offering him anything he wants from the kingdom. Land, money, wealth, property. He doesn't want it. He wants the baby. Because what are babies? Like, the youth, the life force, brand new life. Now, God knows what his intentions were. I think we can all guess nefarious, to say the least. And I'm very glad he didn't get the baby. But there's a reason he had the powers he had. And he was probably as old as he was. Because he must have got that life and youth and energy and power from somewhere. That's why he valued life. Because he could use it. And he was sort of like the first example of an alchemist, changing one thing into another. Obviously it's not lead to gold, it was straw to gold, but also we could transform one person's life force, life energy into power for himself. My thoughts? There's no documented proof of this, because it's a fairy tale. But yeah, because like I've said in a few other videos, the Brothers Grimm wanted to preserve oral traditional storytelling as a part of protecting German heritage. And the stories all have meaning. They all have a warning behind them. They're not all just, because some are pretty grisly and gruesome. And they're not all there to just, definitely not lull kids to sleep, but they're not just there for entertainment. They're there to be a warning. And I do think it is a warning to use your discernment and to be truthful. And to be careful who you give your time, attention and energy to. So, those are my thoughts on Rumpelstiltskin. Sorry it had to be over 2 sort of separate videos. I hope you enjoyed them both. I hope you'll get to watch them both and leave your opinion or leave a like if you liked it. I hope you're all having lovely days, evenings, nights, whatever time you're seeing this. And I shall see you all soon, my spooky pickles. Have a good day.